morning, fishy friends. Welcome to your morning's entertainment. Grab your croissants, pancakes, or Vegemite on toast and wake up to today's host, that buttery smooth groovy cat, Mr. Salem.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this morning's entertainment. We're back here once again because we didn't finish the book yesterday. The Give Yourself Goosebumps book number 4, The Deadly Experiments of Dr. Eek. We did, but we didn't. Of our 3 lives, 2 of them we didn't die and we sort of escaped, got out, sort of. One of them we didn't find our mother though, and the other one we didn't get to go to the movies. So I don't. This one's quite different to the first first 3 that we've gone through. So I feel like they have these medium endings, which is 2 of what we got. So we have to go with it again. And try and actually go through the actual thing and get out, survive, and go to the movies, I assume, with our mother. So there's yes. So that's why we're back here this morning. Yes. Anyway, let me go and read chat. Congratulations, Kuro, on coming first. I hope that you're well and wonderful this morning, this afternoon. Wow, so early. Hi, Salem. And congratulations, Viking, on coming second. I hope that you're well and wonderful this evening. Whoa, 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 and good afternoon, Big White Bear. I hope that you're also well and wonderful this afternoon. Hi, Kuro. Hi, BWB. Hi, Salem. Hi, Viking. Hi, Kuro. Good morning, Salem. Good, very early morning, Salem. Womp, 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 womp. And a whole bunch of Christmassy stuff. It's Quimas. Do. Wow. Hi, Viking. Hi, BWB. So dark and spooky. Hi, Salem and chat. We're both up early. Yes. Yes, indeed we are. I hope that you're going well and wonderful this early morning, Shaka. So I said yesterday that because everything was all set up, it'll be much easier to get this started in the morning. And it was a little cold, but that's okay. And we're here to do more of the goosebumps and hopefully get through it again, but feel satisfied. Because we didn't feel satisfied with the 2 times that we escaped so oddly easily. So, yes. Hi-oh, Shaq. How have you been? Been a while, eh? So, hi, Shaka. Hi, Kuro and Viking. Yes, yes. So you can't see it yet, but it is actually starting to get light out there. So it's alright. It's alright. We got lights and colors and stuff. So yes. Yes. There's no news since I streamed yesterday till now. Other than I've worked more on the Pokemon goals stuff things for when we do that one, which again, that won't be this Saturday. That will be next Saturday, providing everything goes to plan. This Saturday will be Dimitri versus the Souls-like, and that will be 9 Souls, the Space Ninja Cat Metrovoidian um, Souls-like game that I did last year, I believe it was, or maybe it was just earlier this year. I don't know when it was. Oh, it was sometime. Oh yeah, well, we'll be doing that this Saturday. Yes. Mm. Yes. Anyway, um, we got to read a book, but I got to turn on one of the lights so I can actually see properly with the book. There we go. It's the one with the chimpanzee that we did yesterday. Alrighty, so let us begin. So, as always, we have 3 lives, and usually it is whoever makes a choice first. That's the choice that we'll go with, unless a couple of people have made the choice, and then it's majority rules. But yes. How did you get in here? A voice calls as you enter the waiting room at Eek Laboratories. That door is supposed to be locked at all times. You and your friend Sam jump. You didn't think anyone was around. Then you spot the receptionist sitting behind a tall desk. She's a short, frizzy-haired redhead wearing too much lipstick for her thin lips. She glares at you as if she expects you to turn around and leave as soon as you figure out you're in the wrong place. I'm looking for my mom, you tell her. Who's your mom? The receptionist asks. She starts to pack up her things to leave. You glance at the clock. It's almost 5:30. Because it spins around on my wrist sometimes, it doesn't always trigger. It's actually only 10 past 5. That's close enough to 5:30. Doesn't always activate its auto. Ooh, you've turned it around. Let's show you stuff. She's the new lab technician, you explain. She's working on some top secret experiments for Eek. Really? For Dr. Eek? The receptionist gazes at you suspiciously. Yeah, I guess, you say. But really, you're not sure. How come your mom never mentioned him before, Dr. Eek? All she ever told you was that she's had a new job in a research lab. You don't know where. You didn't know there was a medical doctor involved. Doctors give you the creeps. Are you sure your mom works for Dr. Eek? The receptionist grills you. She raises an eyebrow. Her eyebrows give you the creeps. In fact, this whole place gives you the creeps. From the minute you stepped off the elevator on the 19th floor, there were no signs of life. No one in the echoing hall. Nothing but the creaking elevator door. And then you spotted the door to Eek Labs. Your mother never told you about that either. The door looked like the door to a huge vault. It was heavy steel and about 6 inches thick. Your best friend Sam pulled a small handle near the edge of the door. To your surprise, the door swung open easily. Okay, you told yourself. So the place has a weird door. That's no reason to freak out. Yeah, she works here, you tell the receptionist. She does research. Well, take a seat, she replies. I'm sure your mom will be right here. Then she packs up her oversized tote bag and walks out. You search around for a chair, then you see them across the room. The chairs are all orange plastic and they're all chained together. You sit down in an orange plastic chair, but Sam doesn't. He starts roaming around the waiting room. So what movie is your mom is going to take us to? Sam asks. You shrug. Who knows? But remember, Sam, we promised my mom we wouldn't act too wild here. You warn with a grin. Yeah, he says, like he really cares. He wanders over to the receptionist's desk. He picks up a glass of clear liquid that's sitting there. It's probably just water, but... Hey, you cry, don't drink that. But before you can stop him, he drinks it down. Sam drains the glass in one gulp. Then he whirls around to face you. Sam, I mean it, you moan. We can't fool around. This is a science lab. He starts to answer, but suddenly his face turns white. He clutches his throat and gasps. Then the veins on his neck start to pop out. A moment later, he makes a hideous face, as if he's turning into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You freeze. Your heart pounds wildly. What did you drink, you ask him. You race over to the desk. You pick up the glass Sam was drinking from and sniff to see if it has a smell. Nothing. Sam bursts out laughing. He gives you a devilish grin. Water, Sam says, pointing to the glass. It's just water. You can't help but laughing too. You like Sam. He's funny, but sometimes your best friend can go too far. He's always playing crazy jokes on you. Sam gazes around. You're sure he's trying to find some other trouble to get into. Maybe we should look for my mom, you suggest. Anything to keep Sam from getting into more trouble. His eyes light up. Great idea, he cries. Maybe we can do our own experiments. On second thought, maybe you should just sit tight. All right, first choice here. If you sit down and wait for your mom, turn to page 11. If you look for her, turn to page 6. Are we going to go and look for your mom? Or are we going to just sit here? Wait, no. Are we going to sit down and wait for your mom? Or are we going to go and look for her? There, yes. So, as our first choice. Do we try and hunt her down? Or do we stay in the waiting room and wait for her to finish working, I guess? Now, unlike the other ones, this isn't a whole, if you choose one, it's like, oh, no, don't be a baby, you've got to go on the adventure. This book doesn't do that, like all the other three had, so... Now, we have taken both courses as well. Yesterday, I can't remember which one we did two of, but we have gone both ways, which is why we know that it's not one where you pick one and it's like, oh, no, you have to go back and you have to take the other choice. You know you have to read the book out loud. Waiting. Yeah. Not safe to go and sniff around a science lab. Waiting. Wait, what do you mean you have to read the book out loud? I have been reading the book out loud. What? This is a choice. It's a choice. That's why I'm waiting. I mean, I'm waiting, but we're going to wait. Yes. What? Right, so we're going to wait. Page 11. The waiting was my choice. Yes, yeah, I got that, yep. Let's not mess around, you say to Sam. We should wait for my mom. You take a seat in one of the orange plastic chairs in the waiting room. Sam plops down in another one. Fish sticks, he says. I thought your mom was going to take us to the movies. She is, you assure him, as soon as she gets off work. But you look at your watch and think, ruh-roh, she's late. Again. This has happened a lot lately. You hardly ever see your mum since she started working at Eek Labs. She spends more and more time at the lab. When you complained about it this morning, she apologized and gave you a big hug. She offered to take you to dinner and the movies that night. And bring Sam if you want, she said. You check your watch again. It's almost 6 o'clock. Where is she? Suddenly the door opens. A short woman in a white lab coat steps into the waiting room. She stares at you and Sam. Then she motions for you to come with her. Sorry, we've been running late, the woman says. I'm Vanessa. Follow me. You're here for the raster experiment, aren't you? Vanessa asks. The pay is $50 cash. You get it at the end of the experiment, and it takes only about 20 minutes. Let's go. You look at Sam. $50? But what kind of experiment is it? If you go along with Vanessa, we go to page 20. If we don't want to take a chance on the raster experiment, we go to 63. So are we going to go and try and get $50? $50. Whoa, that could buy you maybe a hamburger these days. But back then, in the 90s, oh, the amount of hamburgers you could have. So are we going to go and get some hamburger money and be a part of this raster experiment? Or are we're not going to take a chance on the raster experiment? $50. Who needs $50 these days? Gotta go. Have fun bumping the gooses. Woohoo. Alrighty, no worries, Big White Bear. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful and fantastic day, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Because it's the old laptop that we used to stream the Salem and Duck show from out in the studio before we changed to the new laptop. It is a very tiny screen, which is the reason why I can't have like half the stuff running when I'm doing things in here. And I can only see like usually 3 messages from people without having to scroll. I've never found in person. I know they do it. In person experiment things with where you get paid money. I have found research ones, which is very sort of similar almost to just like the what do they call it? The survey things online. The survey things you get paid like, 5 cents if you do this survey that takes you like flipping half an hour. But actual proper research ones with universities and stuff, I used to do that last year actually. And yeah, I worked with a couple of different universities in Australia and a couple in Europe. I've spoken about before where there was an issue with one from a German researcher in Germany, and because of their not 100% complete proper understanding of the English language and the structure of sentences and stuff like that, is that while the things that they said were actually 100% correct, it was the understanding of it that wasn't right. Like you wouldn't structure a sentence like that. So there was some confusion and mix up there. But yeah. I'm not eligible for those in-person experiments. Hard. Yeah, I mean, in the in-person ones, there are a lot of different types and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah. There's medical trials. There's the medical ones. Yeah, yeah. The medical trials. I could have been a part of a medical trial with things like 8 years ago, but I'd have to constantly be going up to Queensland, and I was not going to do that because I had to go up there constantly anyway. But this would be going up there like every single week. I only had to go up there every 2 to 3 weeks, and that was tough enough. Yes, but yeah. So, are we going to go? Are we going to go along with Vanessa and be a part of this raster experiment? Or the $50 cash, or are we going to not? Are we going to be truthful and be like, no, we're not here for the raster experiment? What did we do previously? We went for the cash, I believe. We went with Vanessa to be a part of the experiment. I believe that's what we chose last time, yes. Both times. We've only gone this route once. The past 2 times we didn't wait and we went off into the research lab and different things happened. So this is actually only the second time we've gone this way. Then no, don't go this time. Okie dokie. So if you don't want to take a chance on the raster experiment, 63. No way, you tell Vanessa. We're not here for any experiment. We're waiting for my mum. Vanessa narrows her eyes at you. Her dark hair cascades over her lab coat. She looks like the witch in Snow White. Wait here, Vanessa instructs. I'll get Dr. Eek. A moment later, an older gentleman with grey hair walks through the door. Dr. Eek is wearing a white lab coat just like Vanessa's, but he has his on backwards. His face is soft and fleshy, and there's something odd about his right cheek. The flesh looks as if it has been pulled up to meet his right eye, and then stapled there. It gives him a weird squint. Well, Dr. Eek explains. Dr. Eek begins, squinting at you. He sounds like a He sounds like a school principal, not a high school principal, who's just taught. Wow. Who's just caught you stealing candy from the snack machine. What can I do for you two? I'm just waiting for my mum, you announce firmly. He asks your name and you tell him. Ah, yes, Dr. Eek says. Follow me. Dr. Eek leads you down a long white hallway. Doors line both walls. All the doors are closed, which gives you the creeps. What's going on behind them? Finally, Dr. Eek opens a door on the right. G-Lab is printed on the door. Is this your mum's lab? Sam whispers. Who knows? You whisper back. Right this way, Dr. Eek instructs. He stands aside so that you and Sam can enter first. Inside the room is crowded with all the standard lab equipment. Tables, sinks, beakers, Bunsen burners, jars of strange-looking things. But your mum is nowhere in sight. Then you notice an ooze. Then you notice a blob of thick, oozy green stuff sitting on one of the black lab counters. It looks like a cross between minty toothpaste gel and silly putty. It's the size of a jello softball, and it's glowing softly. What's that? Sam asks, pointing to the green goo. This, Dr. Eek says. He picks up the blob. Here, catch. He tosses the blob of goo right at you. Oh, 96. Woo. The blob of green goo flies towards you. Sam dives in front of you and catches it. It's an old habit of his, hogging the ball. Dr. Eek chuckles. Nice catch, he declares in a deep, sinister voice. How do you like my new invention? Sam stares down at his hands. His eyebrows wrinkle with worry. The green goo is sticking to his hands, and he can't seem to get them apart. What is this stuff? Sam moans. That's one of my very best experimental results, Dr. Eek replies. I call it my G substance. G for green, G for glowing, G for gooey. How about G for get it off me? Sam shrieks. You gasp. The stuff seems to be growing up Sam's arm. Ah, yes, Dr. Eek says. And I forgot to mention G for growing, too. Help! Sam screams. The goo slowly creeps up both of his arms towards his face. Quick, help your best friend. Quickly, you try to pull the sticky, glowing green stuff off Sam's hands, but it's really stuck. You can get only about half of it off, and guess what? Now your hands are stuck together too. Ah. Mwah, mwah. Have fun, people, Dr. Eek says. He salutes you briskly with a quick snap of his hand over that weird eye, then he shuffles out of the room. For the next few minutes, you and Sam struggle with the goo. You claw at your hands and your arms, trying to pull it off, but it's no use. The stuff is too sticky, and it's growing thicker all the time. Within minutes, the goo has grown all the way up both of your arms, and it's starting to encircle your throat. Just as it slides toward your mouth, Dr. Eek returns. Well, people, how are we doing, he says with an evil smile. Are we ready to cooperate now? Because I can get that stuff off you if you're willing to do the raster experiment. If you cooperate with Dr. Eek, turn to page 9. If you smear some of the goo on Dr. Eek, turn to page 37. If you just run like mad, turn to page 77. We got a three-way option. Oh, boy. Alrighty, so are we going to cooperate with Dr. Eek and be a part of the raster experiment now? Or are we going to try and get some of the goo on Dr. Eek himself and give him a taste of his own medicine or experiment? Or are we just going to run? Oh, excuse me. Whew, yeah, we're not getting out of here, are we? I don't think, yeah, in any of the first three books that they had three-way options. I think this is the first time. Smear it on him? Okie dokie. 37. Help Dr. Eek with the raster experiment? No way, you creep, you shout at Dr. Eek. You're not going to experiment on us. Then you lunge at him with your gooey hands. You try to smear some of the goo on him. It sticks to his hands, but it doesn't seem to bother him. Ha, 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 Dr. Eek shouts, tossing his head back and roaring with laughter. What's so funny, you wonder? You're not laughing. The green goo is creeping into your nose now. You glance over at Sam. He seems to be in a trance. The goo is covering his mouth. Neither of you can breathe. Find out what's so funny on page 44. Slowly, Dr. Eek takes his right hand and begins to pick at a spot on his left wrist, just above the glob of goo you smeared on him. You gasp. He's pulling off his skin. No, you realize. He's pulling off a thin, lifelike rubber flesh-colored glove. A glove that looks exactly like his real hand. So that's why the goo didn't hurt him. A moment later, he reaches up and pulls off a skin-tight, lifelike mask that's covering his face. No, you shout when you see his real face. It's not the same face as the mask. Instead, he has a pasty, pudgy face of a man your mum once showed you in a picture. A man who was fired from her lab. For being totally crazy. You're Herbert Wimpelmeyer, the crazed scientist, you try to shout. But the green goo is creeping into your mouth. His name comes out sounding like Herbert Dumbledore. I hate it when people can't pronounce my name, Dr. Eek growls. Ooh. 119. Yeah. Dr. Eek still has a glove on one of his hands. He moves towards you, then pulls some of the green goo out of your mouth. There, you've got about 2 minutes until the G substance slips back into your mouth and down your throat, he tells you with a horrible laugh. Now, what were you saying? You gasp for air, then talk fast. You worked with my mum at Eek Labs, you say, until you got fired for being crazy. Not at Eek Labs, Dr. Eek corrects you. EIK Labs. So Eek, the normal ones, is triple EK. But this one he's correcting us with is EIK. It stands for Engineered Inner Knowledge. And yes, I did get fired. That's why I started my own lab in the same building, just one floor above. Huh? You say, not quite understanding. It's simple, Herbert Wimplemeyer explains with a nasty shake of his head. You got off the elevator on the wrong floor. You glance at the clock. You have only 1 minute left. Quick, turn to page 21 before you choke on the goo. You get a sinking feeling in your gut as the message sinks in. You're on the wrong floor. Your mum's lab is downstairs. I'll give you one chance, Dr. Eek says, as the goose starts creeping back up your face. One chance to either escape or find the antidote. The antidote? You mean there's something that will reverse the effects of the goo? A way to make this stuff stop growing all over you? 20 seconds left, Dr. Eek warns. Then he closes his eyes and starts to count. 1, 2, 3. He's counting pretty fast. Okay, never mind. 1, 2, 3. There we go. If you search the lab for an antidote, hurry to page 128. If you buy more time by smearing goo all over Dr. Eek's real face, turn to 73. Oh. I mean, we've tried the smearing, but he's taken his mask off now. Do we try it again, or do we try and find the antidote? Sounds about right. Wrong floor. Pff. Smear it. Oh, we're going to do it again. Okie dokie. 73. Here we go. You slime, you shout at Dr. Eek. His eyes are still closed, so he doesn't see you coming. You leap at him with your goo-covered hands. You smear the goo on his chin, mouth, and eyebrows. Ha 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 ha, Dr. Eek shouts, tossing his head back and roaring with laughter. What's so funny, you wonder? And then it hits you. Haven't you been through all this before? That's when you see him reach behind his ear and peel off another mask. Oh no, you realize. He may be crazy, but he's also very smart. Smarter than you. Now, what are you going to do? Hot shot? Never mind, it doesn't matter what you do because Dr. Eek will always have another mask underneath the first. You can't slime him. You can't escape him. And guess what? Your 20 seconds are up. Say goodbye because this is the end. Oh boy. We tried one too many gooing attempts and we lost our first life, which means we have to go all the way back to the start. But I think that was the longest. I think that was the longest one that we've done. So I think we're heading on the right path, possibly with that one. Because, yeah, again, that was the longest. Yes. Third time's the charm? Alrighty, now I will go faster to sort of get through the options that we've just sort of gone through and whatnots. How did you get in here? A voice calls as you enter the waiting room at Eek Laboratories. That door is supposed to be locked at all times. You and your friend Sam jump. You didn't think anyone was around. Then you spot the receptionist sitting behind a tall desk. She's a short, frizzy-haired redhead wearing too much lipstick for her thin lips. She glares at you as if she expects you to turn around and leave. As soon as you figure out that you're in the wrong place. I'm looking for my mum, you tell her. Who's your mum? The receptionist asks. She starts to pack up her things to leave. You glance at the clock. It's almost 5:30 quitting time. She's the new lab technician, you explain. She's working on some top secret experiments for Eek. Really? For Dr. Eek? The receptionist gazes at you suspiciously. Yeah, I guess, you say. But really, you're not sure. How come your mum never mentioned him before? Dr. Eek? All she ever told you was that she had a new job in a research lab. You didn't know there was a medical doctor involved. Doctors give you the creeps. You race over to the desk. You pick up your glass. I skipped the whole page. Are you sure your mum works for Dr. Eek? The receptionist grills you. She raises an eyebrow. Her eyebrows give you the creeps. In fact, this whole place gives you the creeps. From the minute you stepped off the elevator on the 19th floor, there were no signs of life. No one in the echoing hall. Nothing but the creaking elevator door. And then you spotted the door to Eek Labs. Your mother never told you about that either. The door looked like the door to a huge vault. It was heavy steel and about 6 inches thick. Your best friend Sam pulled a small handle near the edge of the door. To your surprise, the door swung open easily. Okay, you told yourself. So the place has a weird door. That's no reason to freak out. Yeah, she works here, you tell the receptionist. She does research. Well, take a seat, she replies. I'm sure your mum will be right here. Then she packs up her oversized tote bag and walks out. You search around for a chair, then you see them across the room. The chairs are all orange plastic, and they're all chained together. You sit down in an orange plastic chair, but Sam doesn't. He starts roaming around the waiting room. So what movie is your mum going to take us to? Sam asks. You shrug. Who knows? But remember, Sam, we promised my mum we wouldn't act too wild while here. You warm with a grin. Yeah, yeah, he says, like he really cares. He wanders over to the receptionist's desk. He picks up a glass of clear liquid that's sitting there. It's probably just water, but hey, you cry. Don't drink that. But before you can stop him, he drinks it down. Sam drains the glass in one gulp. Then he whirls around to face you. Sam, I mean it, you moan. We can't fool around. This is a science lab. He starts to answer, but suddenly his face turns white. He clutches his throat and gasps. Then the veins on his neck start to pop out. A moment later, he makes a face, a hideous face, as if he's turning into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You freeze. Your heart pounds wildly. What did you drink, you ask him. You race over to the desk. You pick up the glass Sam was drinking and sniff to see if it has a smell. Nothing. Sam bursts out laughing. He gives you a devilish grin. Water, Sam says, pointing to the glass. It's just water. You can't help laughing too. You like Sam. He's funny, but sometimes your best friend can go too far. He's always playing crazy jokes on you. Sam gazes around. You're sure he's trying to find some other trouble to get into. Maybe we should look for my mum, you suggest. Anything to keep Sam from getting into more trouble. His eyes light up. Great idea, he cries. Maybe we can do our own experiments. On second thought, maybe you should just sit tight and wait. If you sit down and wait for your mum, we go to 11. If we look for her, we go to page 6. So we sat down last time. But we did. There were a lot of other options after it, but page 6. Okie dokie. So we're gonna go look for her now. Let's go look for my mum, you tell Sam. But remember, no goofing around. This is a science lab. Right, Sam agrees. He zooms through the waiting room door into a long hallway. You quickly follow. The hallway is pretty boring. Just a lot of closed doors on both white walls. And there's no way to know what's behind most of them. You open the first one and peek in. Fiddlesticks. It's just the lounge. At least that's what it looks like. There are 2 beaten up brown couches, a table, some chairs, and a bunch of vending machines. Got any change? Sam asks. I'm starving. You pull out coins from your pocket. You've got enough for only one snack selection. You drop the coins into the slot in the machine. You start to punch the number of your favorite candy bar, but before you can hit the buttons, a hand suddenly clamps down on your shoulder. Wow, you gasp as you turn around. It's a big hairy chimpanzee. You and Sam freeze. The chimp has you cornered in the lounge. Where did he come from? Is he friendly or dangerous? You have no idea what he'll do. And he's bigger than any chimp you've ever seen. In fact, he's at least as tall as you are. More like a gorilla, you think. You swallow hard. I've never seen a chimp up close like this before, Sam whispers. Me neither, you whisper back. The chimp tilts his head, staring at you. He never seems to blink. Then slowly he reaches his big, hairy hand towards your throat. You want to scream, but nothing comes out. The chimp moves closer, closer to your throat, but he doesn't grab you or even touch you. Instead, he reaches past you to the buttons on the candy machine. He points directly at A6. Hey, cries Sam. He wants you to get a different candy bar. Cool, you say, smiling at the amazing monkey. But is it okay to give candy to a chimp? Before you can decide, Sam pushes the buttons for A6. A chocolatey, peanutty thing drops into the slot. Sam quickly unwraps the candy bar and hands it to the chimpanzee. His monstrous teeth chomp down hard on the candy. He finishes it in 2 bites and then pats you on the head. A moment later, he motions for you to follow him. Come on, let's see what he wants, Sam cries. I don't know, you reply. I thought we were looking for my mum. Maybe we should go back to the waiting room. Sam rolls his eyes. Where's your sense of adventure? Well, where is your sense of adventure? If you follow the chimp, we go to 101. If we go back to the waiting room, we go to 42. Are we going to follow this chocolatey peanut loving chimp? Or are we going to go back to the waiting room? follow the monkey? I'd love to, but is that smart? Oh, I mean, well, the monkey seemed smart enough that he knew to, you know, point to the chocolate bar he wanted and then pat us on the head and now wave us over. So it could be, yeah. So we'll follow the monkey? Alrighty. Follow the monkey to 101. You follow the chimp. He leads you quickly down the gleaming white hallway. Oddly enough, he seems to know exactly where he's going. When the chimp's not watching, Sam stoops over. He copies the chimp's lumbering scamper. Ooh, ooh, Sam cries, scratching his underarms and making chimp faces. The chimp turns around and catches Sam at it. He glares at both of you. Weird, you think. You know chimps are supposed to be smart animals, but the gleam in this one's eye, frankly, you think he looks smarter than Sam. At last you come to a door. The chimp opens it and makes a sound. It sounds kind of like eek. What's in here, you wonder? You step through the door into a large laboratory. Sam follows right behind. Inside, a tall man wearing a lab coat writes on the clipboard. He whirls around. He glares at you with intense dark eyes. Who are you? He demands loudly. What are you doing here? Ugh. We explain who we are on 122. You try to stay cool, even with the scientist glaring at you. You introduce yourself and Sam to the man. You reach out to shake his hand. Grown-ups usually like that. Ah, yes, the man says, squeezing your hand a little too tightly. I know your mother well, a brilliant scientist. You smile proudly. The chimp tugs on your sleeve. Nope. The chimp tugs on the sleeve of the man's lab coat, trying to get his attention. He makes some signs with his hands. You can't figure out what he's trying to say, but it seems to be a kind of sign language. The man nods as if he understands. I'm Professor Zyak, one of Dr. Eek's assistants, the man says. I see you've met Oscar. He nods toward the chimp. Would you care to take a look at our work? He leads you and Sam to a wall of windows. You both peer through. Wow, Sam gasps. We got to take a closer look at 53. Your mouth falls open as you stare through the lab window. To your amazement, the lab is filled with chimps. But they're not just monkeying around. They're doing cool things, playing checkers, painting pictures, and reading books. Look, Sam says, those two chimps are playing video games. Wow, can you believe their scores? What kind of research are you doing in here? You ask Professor Zyak. Studying the brains of chimpanzees, he explains. Chimps are very smart, and physically they're a lot like people. There is much we can learn from them. Oscar gives the professor a nudge, a hard nudge, as if he wants something. The professor jumps a little, then he turns to you. Oscar is wondering if you'd care to go inside, Professor Zyak says. He nods toward the next room. To see the research up close? Sure, Sam cries. Can we play video games? Oscar would like that very much, Professor Zyak replies with a strange smile. What's he smiling about, you wonder? Come on, Sam urges you. What are you waiting for? If you go into the room with the chimps, we go to 67. If we think of an excuse, we go to 108. Ooh. Yeah, my doggo also knows where the candy is and is smart enough to ask for it. Yeah, see? Yeah. Go play with the monkeys. Oh, okie dokie. If we go into the room with the chimps, we go to 67. Why not take a quick look around the lab, you think? After all, your mum never lets you do anything like this. She never shows you any of this cool stuff. This might be your only chance. Yeah, we'd love to see the chimps, you tell Professor Zyak. Professor Zyak smiles. Oscar jumps up and down. Good, Professor Zyak says. Quickly, he ushers you and Sam through the connecting door. As soon as you walk in, all the chimps glance up. They stare at you and Sam without making a sound. Weird, you think. You hold very still, not wanting to scare the chimps. That's why you don't notice what's happening behind you. Oscar the chimp is slamming the door and locking it with a key. Hey, what's going on? Oh boy. As soon as the door is locked, the chimps stop playing games and reading books. The fun and games are over. Several of them run to the windows and pull down the shades. Then Oscar takes a lab coat from a hook on the wall and slips it on. He pulls something from the pocket and puts it in his palm. Then he walks over to Professor Zyark and holds out his hand. Resting there is a small chocolate treat. Professor Zyark snatches it and stuffs it in his mouth, as if it's a reward. Oscar pats him on the head. Then Oscar points to a far corner of the room. Hey, you didn't see that before. The whole wall is lined with large cages. Eek, eek, Oscar cries, making that same sound again. Professor Zyark obediently hurries over to one of the cages. He crawls inside, lies down, and curls up for a nap. Oh, Sam croaks, clutching her arm. Look. Turn to page 45. Oh boy, oh boy. As you stare at the cages, you get a horrible sinking feeling. You see that several of the cages are occupied, but not by chimps, by people. They're all adults. Most of them are wearing lab coats, and all of them are asleep. Sam jabs you in the ribs and points. That woman curled up in the cage in the corner. It's the thin-lipped receptionist. No wonder the halls of Eek Laboratory were so empty. Hey, what's going on here? Sam shouts. Oscar smiles at you, a chimp smile. Then he lets out a series of eeks. You can't understand chimpanzee, but if you could, you'd hear Oscar saying, we're studying human brains. Humans are very smart, and physically, they're a lot like chimpanzees. There is much we can learn from them. Then he pats you on the head. We're especially delighted that we now have 2 human children to study, he goes on. It should be very interesting. You and Sam back away. You don't understand what he just said, but as you stumble into the locked door, you're pretty sure you understand one very important scientific fact. This is definitely the end. Oh boy. That was not very fun and games with those monkeys. And that is second of our 3 lives gone. So we have one chance left with today, with this session. So now I have to read the start all over again. But I'll try and do it faster. Okay. How did you get in here? A voice calls as you enter the waiting room at Eek Laboratories. That door is supposed to be locked at all times. You and your friend Sam jump. You didn't think anyone was around. Then you spot the receptionist sitting behind a tall desk. She's a short, frizzy-haired redhead wearing too much lipstick for her thin lips. She glares at you as if she expects you to turn around and leave. As soon as you figure out you're in the wrong place. I'm looking for my mum, you tell her. Who's your mum? The receptionist asks. She starts to pack up her things to leave. You glance at the clock. It's almost 5:30, quitting time. She's the new lab technician, you explain. She's working on some top-secret experiments for Eek. Really? For Dr. Eek? The receptionist gazes at you suspiciously. Yeah, I guess, you say. But really, you're not sure. How come your mum never mentioned him before, Dr. Eek? All she ever told you was that she had a new job in a research lab. You didn't know there was a medical doctor involved. Doctors give you the creeps. Are you sure your mum works for Dr. Eek? The receptionist grills you. She raises an eyebrow. Her eyebrows give you the creeps. In fact, the whole place gives you the creeps. From the minute you stepped off the elevator on the 19th floor, there were no signs of life. No one in the echoing hall, nothing but the creaking elevator door. And then you spotted the door to Eek Labs. Your mother never told you about that either. The door looked like the door to a huge vault. It was heavy steel, about 6 inches thick. Your best friend Sam pulled a small handle near the edge of the door. To your surprise, the door swung open easily. Okay, you told yourself, so the place is a weird door. That's no reason to freak out. Yeah, she works here, you tell the receptionist. She does research. Well, take a seat, she replies. I'm sure your mum will be right here. Then she packs up her oversized tote bag and walks out. You search around for a chair, then you see them across the room. The chairs are all orange plastic and they're all chained together. You sit down in an orange plastic chair. Sam doesn't. He starts roaming around the waiting room. So what's the movie your mum's going to take us to see? Sam asks. You shrug. Who knows? But remember, Sam, we promised my mum we wouldn't act too wild while here, you warn with a grin. Yeah, he says, like he really cares. He wanders over to the receptionist's desk. He picks up a glass of clear liquid that's sitting there. It's probably just water, but hey, you cry, don't drink that. But before you can stop him, he drinks it down. Sam drains the glass in one gulp. Then he whirls around to face you. Sam, I mean it, you moan. We can't fool around. This is a science lab. He starts to answer, but suddenly his face turns white. He clutches his throat and gasps. Then the veins on his neck start to pop out. A moment later, he makes a hideous face, and as if he's turning into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You freeze, your heart pounding wildly. What did you drink, you ask him? You race over to the desk. You pick up the glass Sam was holding, he was drinking from, sniff it to see if it has a smell. Nothing. Sam bursts out laughing. He gives you a devilish grin. Water, Sam says, pointing to the glass. It's just water. You can't help laughing too. You like Sam. He's funny, but sometimes your best friend can go a little too far. He's always playing crazy jokes on you. Sam gazes around. You're sure he's trying to find some other trouble to get into. Maybe we should look for my mum, you suggest. Anything to keep Sam from getting into more trouble. His eyes light up. Great idea, he cries. Maybe we can try our own experiments. On second thought, maybe you should just sit tight and wait. All right, back to our first option again. Is do we sit down and wait for our mother, or do we go and look for her? So for today, we have done one of both. I'm no good at this. Well, I mean, it has over 20 endings. And, like, most of them are failures. So I wouldn't say you're no good at it. I think it's just bad luck at the moment. But again, you made... We did good progress. We did good progress on the first one. We went quite far. That second one was definitely shorter, but yeah. So the last one that we just did was we went looking for her. The first one we did was we sat and waited. When playing the Dark Pictures, I can manage to kill off all characters most of the time. I know I'm not good at this. I've never... No, because, I mean, like, wait. I don't know. So I've played the first one 3 times, and then all the others only once. But always someone makes it to the end. Is it possible to not make it to the end in those games? I don't know. And hydrate. Thank you very much. Yes, and there's an achievement for killing it. Whoa, wow, really? I didn't know that. Because, like, it makes sense, and I would have assumed that, but, yeah, that hasn't happened. At least not yet. But yes, so are we going to sit down and wait for our mother, or are we going to attempt to go and look for her? If we sit and wait, we go to page 11. If we look for her, we go to page 6. Waiting? Alrighty. Sit down, wait. We go to 11. Let's not mess around, you say to Sam. We should wait for my mum. You take a seat in one of the orange plastic chairs in the waiting room. Sam plops down in another one. Fish sticks, he says. I thought your mum was going to take us to the movie. She is, you assure him. As soon as she gets off work. But you look at your watch and think, uh-oh, she's late again. This has happened a lot lately. You hardly ever see your mum since she started working at Eek Labs. She spends more and more time at the lab. When you complained about it this morning, she apologized and gave you a big hug. She offered to take you to dinner and to the movies that night. And bring Sam if you want. She said, you check your watch again, it's almost 6 o'clock. Where is she? Suddenly the door opens. A short woman in a white lab coat steps into the waiting room. She stares at you and Sam. Then she motions for you to come with her. Sorry, we've been running late, the woman says. I'm Vanessa. Follow me. You're here for the roster experiment, aren't you? Vanessa asks. The pay is $50 cash. You get it at the end of the experiment, and it takes only about 20 minutes. Let's go. You look at Sam. $50? What kind of experiment is this? So, if you go along with Vanessa, we go to page 20. Or if we don't want to take a chance on the raster experiment, we go to 63. Oh, so last time we didn't take a chance on the raster experiment, but there was still a whole bunch of other questions, like choices that came later. But So, are we going to go along with Vanessa this time, or are we going to take another chance by not taking a chance on the raster experiment again? It's still a stealth mission. If there aren't any surviving witnesses. It's just much easier, right, to be a stealth mission if there's no one left alive, because you're super stealthy, because you're all ghosts. Ah, my stomach grumbling. Now I'd say take the money and do the experiment. Okie dokie. So we're going to page 20. $50, Sam explains. Yeah, his eyes light up. Great, you say, grinning. What do we have to do? Dr. Eek will explain it to you, Vanessa replies mysteriously. Follow me. You follow Vanessa into a long hallway. The place is empty, eerily empty. Closed doors line both sides of the hall. Vanessa's high heels click on the tile floor as she leads the way. Where is she taking you? Finally, she stops in front of a door with triple locks. There's an intercom box on the wall beside the door. She pushes the button. Yes, a man's voice crackles. They're here, Vanessa announces. Why is she acting as if they were expecting you? Click, you hear an electronic lock unlocking. Then another, and another. The door swings open. You peer into the room. It's pitch black. Come in, a voice says from the darkness. Find out what's waiting for you on page 32. You step into the dark room. A light flashes on. Well, 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 what have we here? Sandy Claus, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared, says an older man in a white lab coat. He has grey hair and a soft, pudgy face. Our next two experiments, Vanessa explains. She tucks a strand of hair she tucks a strand of her long brown hair behind her ear. They're here for the raster experiment. Really, the man says. He pushes his wrinkled face right up to within an inch of your nose. He stares you in the eye. You try to gaze away. There's something odd about him, about one of his eyes. It looks as if his right cheek has been pulled up to meet the eye and been stapled there. It gives him a weird squint. Then you notice something else. His lab coat is on backwards. I'm Dr. Eek. Are you sure you're here for the raster experiment? The man says. Yeah, definitely, Sam insists. What do we have to do? That all depends, Dr. Eek says, with an evil-sounding laugh. What are you willing to do? We have to decide on 64. Dr. Eek is too weird, you'd sigh. You start to back out of the room, but Sam still has dollar signs in his eyes. Where are you going? Sam whispers to you. Out of here, you declare. No way, he insists. I'm staying until I get my money. Dr. Eek grins. He can tell you are having second thoughts. How bad can it be? Sam mutters under his breath. I mean, seriously, your mum works here. It's got to be a safe place, right? You nod half-heartedly. But where is your mum anyway? As if he can read your mind, Dr. Eek speaks up. Actually, he says, I'm not sure you're right for the raster experiment. I think you two are more suited to something else. Nope, fish, I did this last time. I think you two are more suited to... He lets his voice trail off. No, fish, I did that again. I think you two are more suited to something... He lets his voice trail off. Else, he finally says. This sounds worse every minute. If you do whatever Dr. Eek tells you to do, we go to page 25. If we chicken out, we go to page 17. All right. Are we going to double down and do this? Raster experiment or whatever it is he says he thinks we're more suited for? Or do we chicken out? I don't know. Oh. Okay, so we can tell we're having second thoughts. I'm not sure you're right for the raster experiment. I think you two are more suited to something else. The question is will he even let us? If we chicken out, will he let us back away and get out? But what is this raster experiment? Because this pathing is different to the other pathing, right? Which means that it's not necessarily going to be the same sort of thing. If we try and chicken out, it's not necessarily going to end up being, oh, he's the crazy guy and he wants us to reconsider and he wants us to be a part of the thing. Especially since he's like, well, maybe we're suited for something else. So yeah. All right, double down and do what the creep wants. Alrighty. If you do whatever Dr. Eek tells you to do, 25. Okay, you give in. We'll do it. What do we have to do? Dr. Eek smiles slightly. Then he motions for you to follow him. This way, he orders. He leads you down a long hall with doors on both sides. He stops short of at a door painted green. What's in there? You whisper to Sam. I don't know, Sam says. Some kind of experiment, probably. Yeah, probably, you think. Until Dr. Eek pulls open the door. Hey, it's a restroom, you cry. Here, Dr. Eek says, handing you a bucket and a mop. Clean up. Clean up, you exclaim? Correct, Dr. Eek says. Floors, sinks, all of it. I want it all scrubbed and spotless before you leave. Then he marches out of the room. Clean sinks? He wants you to clean sinks? Then you and Sam glance around. Weird, you mutter. Look at those sinks. They're so high. Sam exclaims, they're almost 8 feet off the ground. I wonder what kind of guy needs a sink that tall, you ask. An instant later, the door opens. A humongous 12-foot tall kid, a kid your age, stomps into the restroom. Hi, he says in a booming voice. Then he notices you staring at his height. Yeah, I know, he groans. I'm a freak. Dr. Eek did this to me, but you guys are lucky. You get to clean sinks. Whatever you do, don't do the raster experiment. Clean sinks, you think again. Hey, gladly, any day. And when you're done, you can wash your hands of this whole creepy mess. The end. So that one, again, we didn't die that time, at least, or like anything super bad go wrong. We essentially we do, I suppose, escape after we've finished cleaning up, but we basically we became janitors. So it's like I was saying, is that I feel that this book, unlike the others, has these medium sort of average endings where, yeah, it's not bad. We're not getting captured and held captive forever. We're not dying, but we're not really, we're not finding our mother and going to the movies or dinner or anything like that. So, yeah, but we did sort of get out, but yeah. What the flippin' flip is wrong with these books? Does it even have a good ending? Did you check? No, they do. They all do. All the first 3 do. And you mean, what do you mean, did I check? I'm not going to go through and read every page that says the end. But they do have good endings. They do actually have, like, proper endings. But again, this one is quite different to the first 3. So, because, like, the back mentions a couple of different things that we haven't even come across, right? Okay, so on the back, it says, top secret and dangerous. That's what your mom, a famous scientist, calls the research she's been doing at the labs of Dr. Eek. You're dying to know what it's all about. Then one day you get lost in the labs. Before you know it, you become a human guinea pig in Dr. Eek's deadly experiments. If you choose one lab, you meet a dog wearing sneakers. He's half dog, half kid, and now he's after you. If you choose another lab, you get lost in a maze. A maze that just happens to be the home of an enormous rat. We haven't come across either of those 2 things. So there's still a bunch of different things in here. And one of them is a good ending, at least. At least one of them. At least one of them will be. The next one, when we do finally finish this one properly, because I don't consider that to be a proper good ending. That was an average ending. That's not a good ending. We got to find a good ending, which means we'll have to do another session of it. But the book after this one, number 5, Night in Werewolf Woods, with all the wolves / werewolves, I assume, because it's Night in Werewolf Woods. That one seems like it could be a good one. But we have to finish this one first. Properly. Because yesterday, one of the results we got was our mother showed up, but it was too late to go to the movies because, yeah, I forget what happened, but something happened, and then, okay, and then there's our mother. Ah, she's found us. Fantastic. But it's too late to go to the movies now. So that it felt very, and it felt like it was too short before we got to it. Usually, you know, the proper endings, we've got to go through a whole adventure and you know, some close calls, but then we make it out. It's usually how it goes, I believe. That's how it's gone with the first 3, so yeah. Yeah. Is there an ending where we get to the movies? There should be. There definitely should be. Yeah. There better be. And good morning, afternoon, or evening, Burrito. Hope that you're well and wonderful today. Hi, Bean. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is our 3 lives gone, which means that, yes, I will have to do another session of this. It probably won't be later this afternoon, like the same time that the last one was, just because I need to do some more Nikki. So I'll be back. When will I be back? What am I doing? Yes, well, I'll be back later this afternoon. So yeah, probably roughly about maybe 10 to 11 hours. I'll be back with Nikki, and we'll do some more Nikki because yeah, I didn't do any Nikki yesterday because I was here reading. But then tomorrow, no, not tomorrow because it's only flipping Thursday. Not tomorrow, but Saturday, Dimitri will be here, and we will, yes, it will be 9 Souls, that Space Ninja Cat one, start to finish. So it's a big long stream, so it's like, so it'll be an almost 24-hour one, so it will be overnight. And Dimitri will be doing, yeah, the Souls-like game, 9 Souls. But he'll also be doing the Dimitri versus Prawn Pizza. So that's this Saturday, our time, which is like other people's Friday / very early Saturday. So yeah. Should be. There better be. Yeah. Oh, what kind of pizza? I didn't hear that right, I think. So Prawny the prawn pizza. Cats are scratching at the door. Because yeah, we reached the goal last week, I think it was, for Dimitri to have a prawn pizza because he's like, seafood on pizza, that's nonsense. Oh, so yeah, let's go try prawn pizza. Oh, prawn. See, the thing is, Dimitri likes prawns. The other day, he was like, oh, I need to buy some prawns. I got to take up to my sister up in Queensland. And he was looking at places and he's like, oh, look at this. It's like $50 for a kilo. And I'm like, that's pretty expensive because, like, from the grocery store, you can get your fresh prawns for, well, no, you get your cooked fresh prawns. They're not frozen. For like $27 for a kilo. And he's like, oh, yeah, but they're terrible because they're terrible. So he's going to buy the $50 one, the one that's almost double the price. The thing is, though, is that they have a minimum order of 100, which means he has to spend $100, get 2 kilos of prawns, instead of being able to get like any amount that he wants, like any weight that he wants from the grocery stores that have them. Because it's still fresh prawnage. It's just from a different place. Yeah. I heard something else. Ah, oh my glob, that is a lot of money to just order. Yeah. Minimum order of 100, yeah. But that's how they do it, right? Is they're like, oh, minimum order of 100, but everything, like the price of everything we have will be under 100, so you have to at least get 2 things. So yeah, 2 kilos of prawns for $100 Enos he's gonna get. I was like, yeah, you should just get one of the lobsters. They got a lobster thing there. The lobster thing's 135. I don't know if it's just one lobster, it's a couple of lobsters, but it was some lobstery thingy. I'm like, if you spend a whole bunch of money, you might as well get something real fancy. Get a lobster. Then you can, like, I don't know, dance with the lobster, pretend it's a puppet or something. I don't know what you do with lobsters. I don't like seafood. I used to like calamari though, but not prawns. My sister and my mother really liked prawns. I didn't. Ugh. But yeah, so Dimitri's gonna have a prawn pizza, while playing the Souls-like game. And again, it's next week when we do the Pokemon one, and that will be Dimitri playing Let's Go Pikachu. I will be playing Let's Go Eevee. You'll be able to see us both of our games, and it will be start to finish. Like the Souls-like is start to finish in one session. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee will be start to finish. That's not this weekend, that's next weekend. And that one's going to have a bunch of like goals and stuff, well, not goals, but like incentive-y things where people will be able to, for a certain amount of bits or a certain amount of subscriptions or stuff, you'll be able to get us to force do things. Like I was planning that out last night and working out what amounts will equal what things, with the real big ones being, forcing us to release Pokemon. But there'll be other ones where you'll be like able to get us to switch out Pokemon into the box and stuff and choose a specific Pokemon from our box that we have to have in our team for like the next 20 minutes and just different things like that. So you can sort of like help one player or hinder the other player. Yeah. Yeah. Nom 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 nom. Speaking of though, where the sun's up now, it's light. So yeah, and I haven't had breakfast, so I will probably go and have breakfast. Yes. Anyway, I'll be back in roughly 12ish hours, roughly. Could be back a little bit earlier, could be back a little bit later, but around 12 hours I'll be back, and we'll do some Nikki. Depending on how Nikki goes, we might get some Dragon Age done maybe, but it'll at least be Nikki for a few hours. So yeah. Well, that's it for today. Have a good breakfast. Thank you, and I hope you have a good dinner if you haven't had dinner. It's pretty late. I hope you've had dinner. Yes. So I'll be back then, and I'll figure out when I'll try and do the next one of this. Maybe it'll be tomorrow morning, like around the same time as this. Maybe we'll see. But yes, it's 8:15. I didn't want any. Oh, okay. Well, that's not too late though, I suppose. But yes, right now I don't have a Stream Deck here, so I've got to do all this manually. All right, here we go. All right. Thank you everybody for joining me this morning. Very much appreciate it. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their morning, afternoon, or evening. Whatever the time happens to be for you, say hi to your mum for me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Hello, Gingerbread Salem. I see you have a banana threatening me. Well, ease up. I mean, I find that quite inappropriate, Colorfully Woolly. Well, first of all, my middle pocket banana is not threatening. It's very thin, it's long, but it's soft. It's not threatening at all.